Have you ever wondered how to create an in-person workshop presentation? Well, I did this last month with no experience and no expertise, but I did have a mentor and I took their courses. So shout out, you're going to hear about that towards the end. And here's a step-by-step breakdown of exactly what I did from concept to follow-up. So I was approached to create a social media course for makers at a local makerspace. That's a great point. Check your local area. And I said yes. That's the second point. Say yes. This got me thinking about the essentials for getting comfortable and putting yourself out there and building an authentic audience and growing a following that you actually enjoy interacting with. So the first thing I did is I started with a brain dump exercise, listing everything I would tell someone new to social media or who's like stuck. And these ideas, not in any order, just became the actual content for the course. This took me about a week to get it all out of me, and there was a lot, okay? The next thing I did is I grouped the similar ideas together from the brain dump. I found common themes and topics and categories. This wasn't about putting it in a final order. It was more about organizing thoughts together. Okay, I condensed and I revised the ideas, adding missing points, removing redundancies, adding new ones, and this created a framework for the course, but it was still scattered and missing like connecting points to tie it together. So the next thing I did, with the topics categorized, I put them in a rough order for the presentation. So my goal was 30 slides, and each slide lasting about 3 minutes to give me an hour-and-a-half long presentation. I listed out 30 bullet points, each representing a key topic. This helped balance the content and ensure a solid foundation and a flow, right? So this is when the things started to come together and I could start to see the course or the class in my mind's eye. So I revised and I tweaked the order again. I created a detailed layout on many sheets of paper, so much paper, guys, giving each bullet point space for additional content. I pulled relevant details from my initial brain dump and all my revisions, and I fleshed out the ideas for each topic. Each topic became a slide, and then that became a rough draft for the general content of the course, of the class. I took this, and from this point, I created a workbook from what I have there, and I made it for the attendees to follow along with. And I used Adobe Express for that. I tried a few different things. I found Adobe Express to be perfect for creating a workbook. So building the workbook really helped me understand actually the flow of the information to make it better. And I reordered the slides, the workbook pages, and to make it a logical progression. And before making the slides, I did a rough rehearsal. So finished the workbook before making the actual slides. I recorded it and I just vamped on every topic without constraints and without time limits. This allowed me to refine the presentation in real time and make necessary tweaks in the moment. So using the rough draft that I had, the workbook, and the rehearsal transcript now, I created the slides. Each slide reflected the planned discussion and complemented the workbook flow. This ensured a correlation between what I was saying, the homework materials, and just maintaining that progression as we go from beginning to end. I did another rehearsal walkthrough after finishing the slides. I recorded myself to review the performance, to get insight on my eye contact, body movements, and presentation style. I added additional points and errors and made necessary tweaks at that point. I never wrote a script. I'm reading the script now, but I never wrote a script. I used my cues, my slides, and a printed out copy of the workbook to keep me on track. By the end of the rehearsals, I had a presentation. I was confident in what I had to say and I was ready to go. With the presentation ready, I set up my website. Key piece here, I set up my website to onboard attendees that wanted to learn more. I created a course page with lessons and I placed to upload the workshop recording. So I was recording that and I could upload that after so they could watch a replay of the presentation and to download the workbook. So I use Squarespace for this, not affiliated. Their new courses feature is mind-blowingly good, so worth checking out if you do courses. Attendees could easily sign up for the course on my website using a special coupon code given to the day so they get it for free. And this allowed them to get the workbook, revisit the presentation, and see all the slides. So The next thing I did before I left for the day is I ensured I had all the equipment I needed and backup devices, and the presentation was streamed online as a webinar and in person. So there were two audiences there. Despite this preparation, and I thought I was meticulous about it, I did learn some lessons. So here we go. These are good. I have to have a foolproof audio setup, okay? Recording the audio for the presentation is far more valuable than having the video. Video is important too, but you can always just lay the audio over the slides, and that would work okay if you got in a pinch and the video don't come through. But bad audio took me forever to clean up the audio, forever, and my computer was ready to explode. Number 2, allow time for questions at natural break points. It was a lot to take in for an hour and a half without breaking for questions, and that was a mistake, okay? I'm going to be doing it different next time. Next time I'll offer 2 midpoints for questions and also questions at the end. This would extend the presentation to make it 2 hours instead of an hour and a half. So something to think about if you're doing a long presentation. And 3, make a list and double check everything. I forgot and misplaced silly little things. I forgot my wallet, or I misplaced my wallet, okay? Which almost ruined the entire day because I got to the gas station and I had no money. Thankfully, I had literally just enough cash and change in my truck to be able to buy gas to get to this place. It was cosmic, seriously. And it's wild how one item can get you from completely prepared, ready to go, to failure in just a second, an instant. So always have a list and be meticulous with it so you have everything, especially if you're traveling. So these lessons, I think, are the big ones, and that will help improve for the future. So during the presentation, I followed my plan of about 3 minutes per slide on average. I had an intro slide, which had the title of the class, a website link to take people to get the course details, and our QR code as well, so they could just scan it with their phone. And then I had the coupon code available, so they could just go in, sign up, enter the coupon code, and get all the information for free. And then this also gives them the option to onboard onto my email list, so they get notifications about what I'm up to, right? So the attendees had many questions, and this again highlighted the need for mid-presentation Q&A breakpoints, and that would definitely make it more enjoyable and interactive for everybody. So big learning lesson there. After it was all over, I allowed time for as many questions as anybody wanted, as long as they wanted to stay, and I was there to answer their questions. I also followed up with all attendees that evening with an email reminding them about getting the slides, the workbook, and then the replay of the presentation, and offering them any help following me or questions they had about social media. So I was there for them. The workbook and slides were already available on the course page, so I also sent out another email a few days later once I had the video content uploaded, letting them know about that. And I also scheduled a Q&A live stream for further engagement, and I put that in that email as well. So I had that coming up in the next couple of days, which if you're seeing this today, it's tomorrow, and you're welcome to join. So that's how I created and presented my social media workshop. Someone with no experience, no expertise in this subject whatsoever. I can now adapt this course I created, or this workshop presentation I created, for almost any industry. I could turn it into a podcast series. I could turn it into a multi-day workshop experience, mastermind. The potential is limitless when you put in the work like I did and know your craft. And so big shout out to Sue Bryce and her content curator course, which it not only gave me the tools I needed to do this correctly, cohesively, and professionally, but it empowered me to do it with unshaking confidence. And if you're interested in learning more about it, I have a link below in the thread. Thank you so much for watching this. I really appreciate it. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, retweet it, share it with someone who you think might learn something, and join me in my upcoming live stream Thursday at 1 p.m. and ask your questions. I'll take questions on this topic as well. Whatever you want to ask, I'm open book, and we can dive deeper into either authentic social media engagement and strategies, and questions about putting together a course or a workshop, or if you're building a site on Squarespace, I can help with that too. So I hope to see you there. You can turn on live notifications wherever you're seeing this video. So I hope you do that, and I'll see you there.